Good morning, everyone. So this is day 2, technically, day 3, from the surgery, which was on Monday morning. Like I had said in previous posts, it got bumped up to 8 a.m. And surgery took about 2 to 2.5 hours. And it wasn't as bad as, well, according to them, they said it wasn't as bad as they thought it was going to be, which means it is what they had anticipated. So there was quite a bit of scar tissue. They were able to clean off my right ovary, so I was able to keep both of them. I did have both fallopian tubes and my uterus removed, and they did remove some scar tissue, and there was some scar tissue that was wrapped around some of my intestines, definitely around the fallopian tubes. So, I mean, it is what they had expected, which is good because then that means it wasn't anything extra. But I got some gnarly scars. They went through some of the, they went through one of the old scar incision sites from a previous surgery. They were thinking they might have to keep me overnight, but turns out that I was healing pretty well the day of. And this one was different for me because, I had so much more to lose. This is the most fit I've ever been, the most athletic I've ever been. But apparently they have new regulations from the opioid crisis that they can't prescribe pain meds as much as they can. So after I woke up, I was in severe pain, and they're like, of course, what's your pain level? And I was like, it's above a fucking 10, people, okay? Like, I don't remember. What they do is they actually have to put gas into your abdomen to kind of blow it up so they can see it. So they kind of fill you up like a balloon. It's not fun. So when they blow up your pelvic cavity, it gives them more room to work because they are doing it robotically. But they don't deflate you. You deflate naturally. So you're very uncomfortable in layman's terms. It is extremely painful because the air pockets and air bubbles move throughout your body. And then with the incisions and all the stitches, it really causes a lot of pain. So they couldn't give me the pain meds that I needed because they now have laws about how much they can prescribe. So yeah, that just sucked. So if you're going to do this, don't get it done in New York. I don't know if it really applies to like the whole United States, but Monday and yesterday were pretty awful. I didn't sleep very well on Monday night, for obvious reasons. You just can't get comfortable. You can't lay on your side. You can't lay down. You can't sit up. You can't really do much of anything, and you just have to sit there and kind of grin it and bear it. So, and you don't feel like eating because you just don't. You're in so much pain that you lose your appetite, but they need you to eat because they need you to get your energy up so that you can heal. But they also need you to move around. So they expect you to get up, walk every hour, which when you have that much gas still in your system, it's excruciating. And they only give you so many pain meds, and they would rather have you take something like Tylenol or acetaminophen or ibuprofen or whatever, as opposed to, say, like an oxy pill. And they only gave 5 milligram of oxy, which is fucking retarded. Excuse me. I just think it's stupid. This last surgery was probably the worst I have ever felt, because the lack of pain meds that they give you. I literally thought I was not gonna I did not see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm still pretty uncomfortable, but at least today I'm able to kind of move around. They want you to try and pee before you leave the hospital. So if you can't pee, then they'll keep you as long as it takes in order for you to leave the hospital. But so we leave, we check out on Monday, and my husband told them before they submitted the prescription, before they sent it to Wegmans, have the pharmacy at the hospital fill it for you. So that way you don't have to go sit in a car for however long you need to wait to get your prescription filled. Well, because of the new laws in place, they couldn't retract that request. So we couldn't get the meds from the hospital. So we had to drive to the place of business in order to get our prescription filled, which was it's Wegmans. And unfortunately, I had to sit in the car for like 30 minutes, and my husband's trying to explain to the pharmacist, it's like, look, she literally just got out of surgery like 2 hours ago. Can you hurry the fuck up? Like, this is ridiculous. And so they're like, we're going as fast as we can. And he's like, well, your fast is not fast enough, dude. Like, come on. Like, she's got to get home, and I've got to get her like in bed. And I was still thankfully like pretty doped up from the surgery, so I wasn't feeling too terrible. So once we got home, I had to try and get up and walk around. That was excruciatingly painful. I didn't have any of my animals around me, but the animals knew that the cats knew. They just wanted to stay away from me because they knew I was hurt. I smelled different. And of course, you can't take a shower. So I smell like hospital. My incisions are they're glued shut. There's no actual stitches. They started getting a little itchy yesterday. Today is a little bit more itchy, which is good because that means it's healing. But today I'm moving around a lot better. I managed to sleep quite a bit more last night. I woke up at 1:30, took an ibuprofen, and drink some more water. And Miralax is your best friend. Do not be scared to take Miralax. Anesthesia actually causes your bowels to seize up. It basically like numbs everything, and it really causes constipation, like severe constipation. So make sure you take your Miralax as suggested, if not more, like once or twice a day. I promise you it'll help. But also making sure that you drink your liquids as they tell you to is also super important. Gatorade is really good. They have changed the way that they give you nausea medication. They put like this little patch on the back of my neck right here under my ear, and that really helped with some of the nausea that a lot of people can get from the anesthesia. So today I'm just trying to get some more nutrition. I had an Asian pear today, which those are great, especially if you're constipated, because Asian pears have a lot more, they have a lot more liquid, and pears actually are a natural laxative. So before you go into surgery and you're going to the grocery store, get yourself some pears. If they have Asian pears, even better. And just try and eat as much as that as you can. Eat lots of fruit. If you can eat, I wouldn't have dairy, because dairy can also cause you to get backed up, and you're already backed up from all the medication. So try and stay away from things like cheese. Even though cheese sounds really good right now, it's not something that I would suggest, because they don't want you pushing any bowels. You just need to let it flow out. So, but I've had so many people text me and call me and ask how I'm doing, and which is just, it's a nice feeling to have. My girlfriends gave me all the perfect gifts, and which I didn't ask for any gifts, but someone got me a blanket and a pair of new slippers, which was fantastic, because I have basically had this blanket suctioned to me since I got home on Monday. Because you get cold, your body is just, it's in overdrive, and so you get cold really easily. So things like heating pads may not be the best idea, because you don't want to put a heating pad on your scars or on your incisions, because heat actually causes inflammation. Inflammation causes more pain. So, but heat also helps dissipate all of the oxygen that they had to pump into your system to blow you up. So it kind of helps dissolve it. So you can put the heating pad on like your chest, your neck, your upper back, your shoulders, and things like that. But never put it actually on your tummy, because it's going to cause a lot more pain. So I was able to eat a little bit of breakfast this morning, but I'm hoping that by this afternoon I'm able to move around a little bit more. Quilla has been absolutely amazing. She's this great little trooper. She did not sleep well at grandma's. Like, she was up at like 4:30 on Tuesday morning or some craziness, and then she stayed up until 10 o'clock with Grandma Cheryl watching football. But she's been so good. She's been really listening about not, jumping on mommy, not wanting me to pick her up, and she's been helping me get things like covering me up with my blanket. She's been asking mommy, does that hurt? I mean, try not to hold anything back from your kids, because it's okay to show weakness to your children, because that just proves to them that it's okay to have those feelings, and that, it creates a really good bond with your kids. And just be honest with them, because they might have questions and they don't know how to ask them. But if you're honest with them about what's happening, then it just creates more of a trustful relationship between the two of you. So we've been completely upfront with Quilla about, mommy really hurts right now. Mommy, I'm sorry that you're having to see me like this. And she's understanding it, and she's being really helpful. I was so glad that she got to go to school this morning. That's just something that's normal for her. And the one thing that I didn't want to interrupt her life was not being on her schedule. Because, we're so strict about our schedule here that probably we need to kind of like loosen the reins a little bit. But I think that just gave her a little bit of normalcy to be able to go back to school. So I can't wait to see her when she gets home, because mommy's able to move around a little bit more, and I'm not as puny. So, but yeah, so we go back, I think, on the 21st for our post-op appointment. If things still keep progressing in this way, then we'll be able to start showing you what exercises that you can do after surgery to start rebuilding your pelvic floor, and just to help your body move a little bit better and not go too fast. So that's where all the fun stuff comes in, because we don't talk about that kind of stuff. It's like, you get the surgery done. It's amazing on how many more people that I've met that have said, oh yeah, I had a hysterectomy too. But there was no guidelines on how to rebuild their bodies back after surgery. So it's necessary. It's so necessary. So I feel like the universe is telling me this is what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated, and then we'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Peace out, everybody. Bye.